She definitely knows what she likes.
Yeah.
She's pretty strong spirit and then very generous, I think. One particular prisoner here, his name is Mr. Pate.
Mr. Pate.
P-A-T-E. There were 4 of us women introducing ourselves, and at the very end, I'm Pate.
The family had a lot of deaths.
Mr. Taylor died in December. He died in a wagon accident. His daughter, the next month, dies in the Mariposa River trying to cross with her horse, and the horse slips and she falls off, hits her head, goes downstream. Her sister jumps in, tries to save her, almost drowns again.
I heard footsteps. You say that they probably seen casualties.
In fact, yes.
Something was still in the room with us.
And the laborers worked here, lived here, died here. And if we can get across to the cemetery, they're buried here.
Dude, something just touched me. Did you see that light down to the end? Are you playing games with us? Does anyone need a doctor? I hated that one so much.
Many fear the unknown. Some will travel far and wide in search of an unknown ghost. Follow the American Paranormal Research Association into some of the most highly active historical locations across the United States. Investigate untold stories that will be brought to life on Haunted Discoveries. During our travels, we have visited many historical locations. Fresno Flats Historical Park was our next stop. This location has been reported to us many times due to its paranormal activity. The many sightings and stories that surround this park have perked the interests of paranormal research. 3 structures in particular are going to be the focus of our investigation. The Larmore Lyman House, built in 1878. The Taylor House, built in 1869. And the Raymond Jail, built in 1884. We met with Peggy and Laura to conduct a walkthrough of the park.
Side of the Taylor cabin.
Wow, so this is...
Beth Taylor.
This is Mr. and Mrs. Taylor over the fireplace.
Okay, so this is them actually.
Yes, that's
Actually them.
actually them.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Now
Now,
you got a filling in here.
from what we understand, they actually had a 2-story house built sort of like the Larmore house.
Right.
What happened was the house caught on fire.
Okay.
They lost a child in the fire. So when they rebuilt, Mr. Taylor decided it would be harder to burn logs
Yeah.
than it would be shipboard
Yeah.
siding. So he built this to try to keep his family safe.
They had a house similar to what the
Right.
Larmore
Right.
house was.
I will say one thing though, my heart's racing in here.
That's
Yeah.
because
Definitely
it's
got a
real
heavy
active
feeling
here.
in
Yeah.
Are you
I
guys
knew what it
feeling
was.
Well,
heavy in here?
A little heavy, yeah.
I feel really heavy.
Feel a little tingly.
Yeah.
The family had a lot of deaths.
Right.
And we were actually speaking. She had just found out on the internet, and we were in here talking about it. And one of the people in here was almost being consoled, saying it's okay,
Really?
as
Okay.
we were telling the story to him,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And he was starting to get upset because of what had happened.
Right.
He said it was almost like somebody had their arms wrapped around him, saying that it was okay.
Well, okay, this is
Yeah.
just a tourist, it's a visitor of the park.
Yeah.
Just a visitor of the park, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
because I was relaying the story that I found out, because we hear, and then visitors come and they go, well, when did they die, or what year, what month, or how'd they die, and all this. So I started to research, and they had 8 children. One of them died in the fire before they built the log cabin, and before they moved over to closer to Fresno Flats. Mr. Taylor died in December, and he died in a wagon accident over in North Fork, which had something probably to do with the delivery or heavy
Even
labor.
in one of the mills or something.
Right. His daughter, the next month, dies in the Mariposa River trying to cross with her horse, and the horse slips and she falls off, hits her head, goes downstream. Her sister jumps in, tries to save her, almost drowns again. So that would have been a 4th child, right? But she managed to survive. So we
Right.
have Mr. Taylor dying, Amanda dying, the other boy dying before that, right? So here is Beth all by herself.
This is a jail, so this is not a recreation, this is a original.
This is the original Raymond Jail.
It housed 14 prisoners at a time.
And one night it housed 14 drug prisoners.
At a time, and one time it housed a prisoner and a rattlesnake.
And a rattlesnake, who won that battle?
The guy who was up on the top bunk when the
Right.
sheriff opened up the door. And
Yeah, oh, you got lucky there.
There's
huh?
a snake! I'm thinking, I didn't know that snakes could be
This,
This is
held
actually
14 people.
yeah.
There were 14 guys in
It
here
didn't
one night
have-
after a party.
It didn't have the cot in here.
Yeah.
Our docents have decided that the prisoners needed to be more at home, which
Right.
these would not have been left in.
Right,
But
no,
you know,
no.
but you know, it's the kids need to see.
Recreation, right.
We get one particular prisoner here. His name is Mr. Pate,
Mr. Pate.
P-A-T-E.
Mm.
And the first EVP we got in here, there were 4 of us women introducing ourselves, and at the very end, I'm Pate.
On Pate,
Right,
yeah.
right behind us, right? And so we thought he was saying I'm Pete.
Right.
And I was doing the historical research online, and I ran across Mr. Pate acquitted for cattle wrestling. And
Wow.
I'm like, wow.
There he is.
Yeah. You know, so I printed it up and I came back and I read the story to him. Yeah, you're here, aren't you? And he was like, yeah, because we had made the mistake of accusing him of being a horse thief. I bring in my little miniature Jack Daniels whiskey bottle.
Right.
They pass that around. Lots of interaction. The leg iron has been known to swing
Okay.
on its own. So
And it's heavy.
Yeah, it looks
and
heavy.
it's, you know, like we make sure that nobody's touched it
Right,
and stuff
right.
like that, because these people come running back and telling me things and I'm like, okay, sure.
Yeah.
Hi, Mrs. Larmore. Which is something we always do.
Don't be afraid. Go
Oh,
on.
go ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead, Brandon.
There's steps
I
up
want you
and
to-
steps
I want you
down.
to- and there's mannequins, so don't
Yeah.
think you got a
So-
full body apparition.
Yeah.
You don't want to get all excited
Hello?
because then I got to
Wow.
laugh.
Definitely feel
And the
it.
guys would definitely.
Definitely feel something there.
This is Mrs. Larmore's living room.
And from what I understand, this is Mr. and Mrs. Larmore.
This is them.
Yes, this is them.
No, one of our junior docents, 2 of them were upstairs they dress up in period clothing
Right.
and help out with the kid tours, and they saw a woman upstairs in a dress, and they thought it was just one of the older volunteers
Right.
dressed up, you know, and didn't think anything about it. And they came down here and they saw her this dress on this ironing board.
Oh wow.
And that's what freaked the girls out.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like hard to get them to come in the building because
Right.
they had seen the woman in this dress that's on the ironing board right upstairs. And they came back and they were just like, that is awesome. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
exactly.
Yeah, it is. So don't worry about it. But yeah, so we don't do tours for them, but
Right.
they have lots of good stories. They
Yeah.
all have had experiences because they're teenagers.
Yeah, exactly. So you guys do tours of the building, right? And you
Yes.
Have people just during the tours experience anything?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, if they come to us and ask, like I just did one a couple of weeks ago, and one of the fathers that was chaperoning, you know, I just talked about the history and talked to the kids about how clothes are made and candles, and they made their candles and their rope over there. And after the tour, we were walking, and I says, "Oh, it was really good. I didn't talk anything about paranormal stuff, right?" And he goes, "Oh, well, I felt it all over in that house. It was all over me when we were in that yellow house." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. Is that cool?" And he
That's
goes, "Yeah."
nuts.
So he wanted a card, so he'll be back.
We began the investigation at sundown. Our special guest, Bruno Huerta, was the first up to investigate the Larmore house.
Perfect. You're rolling on this too, dude.
Okay, this is rolling.
All right, I'm gonna set this one right here for you.
All right.
All right, we'll see you later, dude.
Is that
We'll be
the?
back.
It's right there. It's the hunting camera.
We'll be back in 30 minutes.
You got it.
We'll be back in 35 minutes.
Okay.
Actually, we'll be back in 40.
We'll be back sometime tonight.
Comes in here and says it's starting to feel heavy. We'll be back later.
We'll see you, dude.
All right, man.
Be safe, man.
Okay, this is Bruno Huerta with the Portable Ghost Society. I'm in the Larmore house. I'm here helping APRA do some filming. I'm here locking down for about 40 minutes by myself in here. It's not quite dark yet, but it's getting there. I know there's a Mary that lives in this house. My name is Bruno. Would you like to say something, please? This is a beautiful home. You have beautiful items in here. Like this old sewing machine. Did you used to sew here? Okay, I didn't hear anybody down here, so let's see if you're upstairs. Let's walk upstairs real quick. It's a little bit awkward.
While Bruno was upstairs, a voice was collected in the living room.
Whose rooms were these? Okay, I hear noises as I move, and I'm not stepping, but as I shift my weight, the floor's creaking. This room up here has a fun house effect. It looks like it's leaning towards the street a little bit. Feels a little heavier up here.
Again, while Bruno was upstairs, we collected a conversation in the living room.
We going downstairs. This is Bruno. Boy, you really gotta watch it coming downstairs. Stairway can be treacherous. There are lights coming from inside or from outside through a window. Oh, sorry. Wow. Mary, are you sitting down here? Did I bump into you? I'm sorry. I just felt something. I thought I bumped into someone. I think you heard me say I'm sorry. Felt something on the back of my leg, my left leg. Were you just sitting down, Mary? I'm sorry if I bumped into you. Here, I'm going to stand over here. You know, I gotta say, it was kind of pretty cool when I felt someone touch my leg, because it actually made me say, excuse me, which let me know that I was actually feeling somebody there, that I could have bumped into you. And Mary, if you were in your chair, I think it was you, and I apologize. Like I said, I don't mean you any harm, and I'm sorry if I startled you or scared you, or or maybe you stepped on your toe or something like that. I'm very sorry. So. Please accept my humble apology. I think my time's up.
Hey, Bruno,
Yes, sir.
we're here for you.
All right. Well, thank you very much, people in this house, for hopefully talking to me. I really appreciate it. My friend Brandon's coming in. Hello. Okay, we're going to end this session here.
Michael decided to investigate the Taylor house, where many events have been reported.
Okay. This is Michael, and I am inside the double-sided log cabin at Fresno Flats. I've got multiple devices running right now, aside from the camera that I'm holding, and I will be holding for the remainder of my part of the investigation in this location. I've got 2 motion sensors. I've got my recorder right there, Sony. There's a static cam over there, and old Trusty is over here on the sewing machine. Right there. Is there anyone that would like to speak with me? My name is Michael. I come with the fullest respect for yourself in all of these buildings here. If you can see over here, there's 2 devices, 2 little objects sitting over here by the sewing machine. They have little red dots. And if you talk into those little red dots, it's possible that I can hear you. Okay? So if you go and you say something into those little red dots, we can try and communicate with one another. Okay. Start session number 2. Okay. As I stated before, okay.
This was the only audio data collected in the Taylor house. The Raymond Jail was up next for investigation.
See you guys.
See ya. Bye, Mr. Pate. Be nice.
I am in the Raymond Jail in the Fresno Flats Historic Park. I'm just checking right now to see if there's any kind of animals in here, just in case, because you never know. You never know. I've done jails before, but I've never really done an Old West jail, so this should be interesting. I heard that this tool on the wall here gets moved sometimes. Could you move that for me? Go ahead and take a seat on this bed if you don't mind. So what are you doing here to pass the time? I'm going to set this camera up. It's me setting up a camera. Move this recorder here real quick. Set that over here. You guys out there messing with me, man? That made my heart drop, man. Someone just walked by out there. I just saw someone walk past this door, man. Clear as day, there's some light coming in through the bottom. And I saw someone walk by it, man. I'm just trying to logically think of what that could have been. It was an animal, but it looked like legs and feet, like humanoid. One thing happened that made my heart drop out of my chest, dude.
What happened?
I'm sitting right here on this bed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's light coming in through under the door.
Mm-hmm.
I see legs and feet walk past. I thought it was you dudes coming to mess with me.
No.
And the first thing I thought was like, I didn't hear any footsteps.
Fresno Flats Historic Park lived up to its reputation of producing unexplainable events. Our time in the park is a memorable moment we will never forget.